Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to do our December budget and sinking funds closeout. I've decided to combine all of the budget and sinking funds videos. So if you do want to see them separate, let me know and I can readjust them to do them separately. I just think that setting up the budget and ending the December budget in the same video is helpful to see how it all plays together rather than doing them as separate videos. But again, let me know because it does make the videos shorter doing them separately. So maybe it's preferred that way. But anyway, I went through and made sure that all of the transactions are recorded and everything is good. And I also have on my phone, I use the Every Dollar app from Dave Ramsey. So I made sure that everything that was in my phone was also on here and vice versa. It's just a way for me to double check myself. I mostly use the app for on the go purchases. So let's say I go to the grocery store, I will put my grocery store purchase on the app right when I get in the car. That way it's already in there. Just in case I forget to do it later, I have some way of seeing where things went off. But then I do always put them on here as well because I like the paper and pen and it's easy for me to keep track and scratch things out and check things off and all of that good stuff. So here we go. I have on my first page, which all of these printables are available in my Etsy shop. I have some generic ones also, and ones for January will be going up soon. Here's everything we budgeted. So let's go through. We won't need the weekly check-in page, but we'll do sinking funds. I think we should, we're going to go through and do all of this first, and then we'll go through and close out the sinking. So I have 2 transaction logs. One is for all of my sinking funds, and the other one is for all of the non-sinking funds transactions. I may be changing up the way I do this a little bit going forward because we're in a new year, and I did buy a Plum paper planner for my budgeting, so you guys will see that video soon of how I'm going to set everything up. But for now, let's just go through and do this. I did not get a chance to highlight the rest of these. I normally just highlight them. I have a color code, so it's easy to spot, but no big deal. Totally fine. Let me move my water a little bit here so you guys can see a little bit better what we're doing. Okay, so first things first, groceries, we're just going to go up and add all of the grocery total, and same thing for all these categories. So what I'm going to do right now is go through and add up all of the totals for all of these categories, put in the actual, and then we'll come back and see where we ended up after that. Okay, so we went through and calculated all of the actual totals. So unbudgeted, they're at the end. So something that happened, these Life Touch photos, those are school pictures for Sophie's school that we weren't planning on them happening when they did. So what actually ended up happening is the $59.99, we had enough in our credit card rewards to pay for that. So I'm not going to include that in unbudgeted because it was a wash. Again, with budgeting, it's kind of up to you. So if you wanted to track that, I could easily just track it as an unbudgeted expense, and then in the miscellaneous income, just add the $59.99 in there, and it still would even out the same. But for me, I already made a note here that's paid with rewards, so I'm leaving that alone. And then back here, we got photo books for all of the grandparents for Christmas, and we ordered an extra one for ourselves. We just decided kind of last minute that we wanted one, and I didn't know where to put the money for that, so I also included that in unbudgeted. I could have gone anywhere, but we actually do have enough rewards on our American Express card to pay for those as well, but I'm going to leave it as unbudgeted for now, and we can worry about paying that off later. The other thing we also did get that we could do is we did get $25 of rewards from our second credit card. We have 2. So we could use those rewards to pay for that as well. I did just include that as income because I didn't have anything to wash it with. So we may end up just using that also. So either way, I did include that one as something unbudgeted. But everything else we have here, the reason why Black Hills is 0, this is our gas bill. I like way overpaid it earlier this year. I didn't realize it was telling me I had a credit. Pay attention to the details, right? So I thought it was telling me I had a bill. So for like 3 months, I kept paying more, thinking, what the heck is going on? Why is this bill like doubling every month? Until I finally realized, duh, it's a credit. So we've had, for the last like couple of months, we've had no bill, but starting in February, we actually don't have a bill again in January. We just got the notification. But in February, we'll start having a bill for them again. So yeah, note to self, really pay attention to when it says credit on it. I just, you see the notifications and you think, yeah, it's a bill. It's fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm really happy with this groceries that we ended up under grocery budget. And I am thinking that next month we may be as well with this. Ooh, I needed my green pen. It's okay. I can go through and highlight them. I'll just do like a plus and a minus and then I can highlight them later. We actually still have quite a bit of stuff from Costco, which is awesome. So I'm thinking that for next month, we may even spend less than this. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited. We've only had Costco for 2 months. So seeing kind of how we use it and how it's going to like affect our grocery spending going forward is really exciting. I will say, I am super proud our spending this month. We were so focused on holidays and everything. And I think while that can be expensive, sometimes it distracts from, that is 0.60. Sometimes it distracts from the normal spending, right? So like, look at all of these pluses where we did not spend as much as we budgeted for. It is freaking awesome. I love it. But I'm expecting in January, we are going to be spending a little bit more. Also exciting news, Nick got a promotion. Yay! And it actually took effect this last week of December. So we have a little bit of extra money to budget for next month. It's part of the reason why I have not done my, that did not go in all the way, 49. There we go. That's part of the reason why I haven't done my 2021 budgeting setup yet is because we were waiting to see if this was going to come through or not. And I didn't want to have all of these numbers set in stone to literally just change all of it. So now that we know for sure he's got his promotion and everything and how that's going to affect our budget, I can go through and actually do that video. So you guys will see that here probably next week from the time that I post this. 245. So we did go over on the cell phone budget. I wasn't sure how this would change, and I do need to look at the details. We had Disney Plus free for a year with them, and our year is now up, and so Disney Plus is being added into our cell phone bill now. But I need to see because it shouldn't have gone up. I don't know why it went up by $10 because I believe the subscription is only like $7. So I'm gonna have to see exactly what made it jump up that high. Maybe there's like extra taxes or something. So, but overall, most of these are pluses, which is amazing. We also had one extra subscription come through that we thought we canceled and we didn't. That's part of the reason why, that's not correct. It's part of the reason why I put subscriptions under variable expenses instead of fixed expenses, because I feel like I've had a couple of times where like the taxes come through a little differently, or we forget about one that we forgot to cancel. And so I like putting that under variable instead of fixed. And then unbudgeted is going to be 2023. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to add up all of the actual totals, put that here, and then I'm going to subtract these, get a number, and it should match this column and this column, or this column and this row should match. And if it doesn't, then, well, okay, I did something wrong. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, So now that we have these two numbers, and maybe it'll be helpful to zoom you guys in a little bit here. So now that we have these two numbers, I'm going to subtract these and just make sure that I get the same phone number, phone number, because I'm using my cell phone, the same outcome. So 120910 minus 1157.63 gives us 5147. Perfect. So the numbers that I wrote down and the plus minus, everything matched up. So that should be correct. And then what I can go through and do as well, I have that EveryDollar app that I was telling you guys about. It'll be a little bit harder to do on this end, but what I can do is just verify that these numbers match. So if you see the app here, it might be kind of difficult with maybe the screen. Maybe I need to like darken that a little for you guys. Let's just see here. Okay, that looks a little better. So if you can see, it has all my categories and it has like if we were over or under or not. Don't mind the daycare. It's a little weird. Daycare's kind of weird in our budget because every paycheck, we just pay for 2 weeks of daycare. And sometimes there's a third week of daycare in a month where we don't have 3 paychecks. So it looks like we're paying more, but we're not because we still get paid. It's a little confusing, but it works in my head. And so it just, don't worry about the daycare, but everything else. So gas, we should have, let's do remaining instead of spent. So you have planned, spent, and remaining. So remaining 31.33, groceries 265. Oops, clicked into that. And when you click in it, like this app is really cool. If you haven't used it before, I highly recommend it. It's very awesome. IREA 2840, water 633, gas 31.33, groceries 265, restaurants 1530. Phones minus 921, subscriptions minus 499. Those are funds. Some of these are funds on here. Plus 189 on internet. Unplanned 2023. And I believe the rest are funds. Perfect. So everything on here matches what I have in the app as well, which means this should be squared away. So one thing that I am adding on the bottom of my sheets printables going forward, on the bottom section, I am going to have like a total expenses for the month, total income, and then the difference instead of having it in like a notes section, because I just feel like that's really good to see. So our total fixed expenses were 469. My brother actually got me a new pen for Christmas that I should be using, but I left it upstairs. It's like packed away really quick. And so next video, you will see it. It's a very, very cool. I can't wait to show you guys. And then total actual fixed expenses, we're actually going to plus, is 1157.63. So let's go to our calculator. 4692 plus 1157.63. So we actually spent 5849.63. Perfect. Okay, and then what we'll do is anything left over, so this $51 that we have left over and any additional income that we made based on what we were expecting. Right now, we are really focusing on building our savings account back up since we did use a big chunk of it to pay off our car. So we will be, all extra money right now is just getting pushed into the savings account. Perfect. We are going to close out our sinking funds now. I have been absolutely loving the sinking funds, and I can't wait to share with you guys when we do the 2021 budgeting video and sinking fund setup. We're changing some of our sinking funds a little bit. So what I'm going to have to do is basically close out the fund and move the money into a new fund. So I think I'll do that with you guys. I was debating, but I think I'm going to do it with you guys. So this is very similar to what we did on the other budget. I'm going to go through really quick. I'll speed you guys up and just get the total numbers here, and then we will see where we were at for the balance wise. So I think that's looking good. Oh, I do not know if you guys can hear that motorcycle. That was very loud. So what I had to do, there were some things that we purchased under the Christmas fund that I actually moved and we decided not to use for Christmas and to use for other things. So I did a funds transfer here. So that's why I had to change the our fund money account, because I ended up I forgot that I took the 52 also. So this should equal up. What I'm going to do now is try and get the balances, and then I'm going to look in my app again like I did before and just see, make sure that those actually equal up, okay? But let's see. So we had negative 45. So 45, 45 in the negative. And then we added in, oops, I think I need to do my parentheses. And then we added in $100 this month. And then we took away $49.76. So we have $4.79 left in that account. Auto insurance, we did not spend any. That is a yearly fee, so this will just keep racking up and racking up. Whoops. Until we get there. So 350 plus 175. So we have 525 in that account. Nick's account, he had $2.41. I feel like I'm missing a transaction for him now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. So he should have $9.44. I don't think I put it in either one though, because I think he just did it like yesterday. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So I was in the negative. We added in 30 and I spent $17.21. So I have $7 and a penny left in mine. One of the reasons why we did our personal accounts, I think I've mentioned this in other videos, instead of just a regular expense, is because our personal spending is only $30 every month. And so we felt that it would be better for us because $30 is not that much money. Minus the 28 that we spent there. Since $30 is not that much money, we wanted to give ourselves the ability to kind of roll that over every month. But that'll be changing. That'll be changing in 2021. So whenever I post my video for the 2021 budget, definitely check that out. Minus 96.61. So that's 299.46. Whoops, 6, not 4. Okay, so we had $60 because 30 plus 30 minus the 16. Whoa, I feel like sometimes I don't hit the button all the way. 60 minus 16. So we should have 44. I went and got my car washed yesterday. It was so bad. We get a lot of snow here, and so whenever we're anticipating a bad snowstorm, they always like crazily salt the roads, like way over salt them. We went in the negative a little on Mr. Tagalong here. No worries. So, I don't need to do that. That's just a good old $10 there. Oh, I forgot the HOA on the top too. Whoops. 45. And then Christmas, we actually ended up with a little left over for Christmas, so that's just going to roll over probably into next year. We're going to have a kind of a new system. 51.48 for how we're doing that. So you guys will see that soon though. All right, before we calculate the totals of anything, I'm going to go through and just verify that all of these are correct. So HOA, $45. Christmas fund, what happened in the Christmas fund? It is not adding up correctly. How much are we off by? So this says 4501. So 4501 minus 5148 is 647. The funds here, I should have 5148 left over, and in my app on my phone, it didn't match up, and so when I did the difference on here, it was 647, and I actually have a transaction for 647 exactly, which means either on here or in my phone, I added it or subtracted it twice. And if you look on here, I have 647. I entered the Hobby Lobby 647 in 2 times. So I'm just going to delete this out of here. And now 5148. So what I calculated based on my paper budget is actually the correct amount. Okay, let's just keep moving along to the next fund. Household 479, that's correct. Auto insurance 525. Nick should have 944. I have 701. 1174 for clothing. That's like 30 cents off. I probably miscalculated something either on my end. I maybe transposed a number or on the paper end. So I'm just going to put a star on that. 299.46. Cars $44. That's right. Tag minus 14.53. Okay, that's correct. $10 to Costco. Okay, so the only one that's a little bit off is 11.43. So we're off by 31 cents. I don't have anything for 31 cents. So what I'm going to do really quick is just make sure that I calculated this the correct way. So first I'm just going to do 336.07 plus 60 minus the 96.61. Oops, that is the wrong line. So we're going to do the clothing line, which was, we'll do 50 minus 979 for the negative, and then we spent 28.78. Okay, see, I still got 11.43, so something did not come over correctly. So, here's where we're off. So I have 28.47 in here, but I have written down 28. Yeah, that's literally my error. So it's actually 28.47, which means that this number actually is 11.74. So that's why I know it may take a few extra minutes, but I like to make sure that everything is like 100% the way it's supposed to be. I normally use my whiteout. I just didn't bring it with me, so no big deal. And now what we're going to do is get the totals. And everything should match up. But if you see the balances here, the only one that's negative, luckily, is tags. Everybody else is in the positive. If something goes in the negative, like you saw a couple up here were negative for 1 month because we really needed something, and so we had to purchase it. It's me personally, I am okay with having a slight negativity on a rare occasion because we have money for within the other funds to kind of float it until we dump more money in the next month. Now, if something is becoming like a pattern and we're seeing that every single month we are constantly negative in this balance, which is one of the reasons why I like being able to go back and see everything, then we would maybe want to look at actually just increasing the amount that we're putting in there every month, and we wouldn't want to float it. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your budget or when you're doing yours. You may not be comfortable with that. And if you're not, that is totally fine too. I personally am just like, this is okay. He needed a new bag of food and we ended up getting him a couple of extra things he just really needed as well. So I know that next month we're probably not going to be buying food. And so we'll have a whole extra $50 we won't be spending next month. So it should be fine. Okay, so now for totals, the beginning balance. And then this plus amount should match on our main budget, this amount here. So it should be 545 is what we added in, but I will just double check. So the nice thing about math and numbers is that there's only one right answer, right? So it's very easy to double check yourself and make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be and that there are no mistakes, because you can't have two different answers with the same numbers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our total, which is 1071.49 plus the 545 we added in minus the 623.10. So that should leave us with 993.39. I'm going to add those up and make sure that we get the exact same number. $993.39. Perfect. So everything is squared away. We are good to go. Everything balances and matches, which I love to see. And then the last step, which I can't show you guys on here, but the last step that I do is we have a sinking funds account specifically just for sinking funds, and we put everything and transfer everything out on there. So I will just verify that this number right here matches what we have in our bank account. And if there is something wrong, then I can kind of know what to look for and where things are. So that's just part of like, what I love about budgeting is that everything matches up nicely. Everything, like when it's all said and done, everything is accounted for. And I love that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. If you wouldn't mind, if you did enjoy this video, giving it a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button and notification bell just lets YouTube know that you like what you saw, and it will continue to show more of it. So thank you guys again. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.